Hi, I'm Daniel Schemer, and today I'd like to speak to you about asking questions. One of the things that I think is very important to understand is that you cannot win an argument. If you're going to fight with somebody, all you're going to get is anger. You're going to get an opposition. You're going to get to lose something. You're going to get hurt. And the best way to get into a relationship and to feel more powerful is to ask questions. Asking questions is one of the oldest methods in the book. It has been used since the days of the Bible. When Delilah wanted to win against the most powerful person on the planet, Samson, she just asked him, "What is the source of your power?" And that is a very powerful question. When Abraham wanted to argue with God and wanted him not to kill people in Sodom and Gomorrah, he didn't tell him, "Don't do it." He didn't argue with him. He asked, "Let's say you find 100 righteous men. Would you still do that?" Let's say you found 50 and kept on going and kept on going and kept on going. And asking question is a way of getting power, of controlling the conversation. Because the person who is asking the question is actually the most powerful person in the conversation. We tend to think that the person who talks the most is the strongest person. And that is the opposite of the truth. The person who asks the questions is the one who is gaining power. A lot of things are happening when you ask a question. First of all, you get time to think. Second of all, you get information. And information is the basis of a good negotiation, is the basis of getting to understand the other side. And understanding the other side is the thing we're striving for. We always want to know more about the person in front of us for many reasons, but so we can connect to him, so we can find out exactly what he wants, what he expects to get, to understand what we can give him. And a lot of these things, they happen when the other side is doing the talking. And we want to open him up, and asking questions shows him that we want to get to know him. Now, of course, asking the right questions is an art form, but sometimes we don't know exactly what to ask. So we can talk about history, we can talk about trips, we can talk about things that aren't going to make him very angry. Okay, so we start with questions that aren't about politics, that aren't about religion, that aren't about ideas, deep ideas. We start by asking questions about life. Where did you come from? What is your favorite thing in the world to do? Where have you gone on your last trip? Why did you go there? And afterwards, we start to ask questions that have to do with the things that drive the person in front of us. What does he need in the next 5 minutes? What does he need in the next week? What does he need in the next year? Why does he need those things and not other things? What interesting choices did he make? And when we listen deeply to the answers, we get a feel of the person. We get to understand his soul. We get to understand his ideas, his drives, and then we can actually make a deeper transition into a place where we are thinking together. And we can use the information that he gave us to get to a better place, to get to a deeper place. And then we can convince him in a much better way, in a much easier way, to do things that are actually good for him by the standards that he gave, by using the answers that he gave. And then there is no need for an argument, because we are giving him the things that he told us that he needs. And that is the way to talk to people without getting into a fight. So the next time you have a need, you have a feeling that you want to argue with someone, you want to be angry with him, instead of doing that, just asking him a question. Just say, I need to understand. And the reason we are angry at someone, the reason we lose control a lot of time, has to do with the fact that we feel we have no power, that we feel we are not accurate about how to get to the other side. We feel that we've lost ourselves. And that is the way to get out of that situation. You just want to raise your voice even a bit. Instead, just take a step back and ask a question. And then ask another question and another question until you feel great. Because if you want to convince someone of anything, you have to be in a very good place. You have to be very positive. You have to feel that it's going to be good. You have to feel that something amazing is going to come out of this connection. And you have to be in that good place. And questions bring you to that good place. Answering questions also does that, but we learn that even when we get a question, to answer it with another question is an amazing thing to do. And the questions become better and better, and the connection between people becomes better and better. So I wish you very good connections, and I will see you in my next lesson.